in the house that it druk me a paar times. Like, you know, when the smoke druk you, put your bed on the bricks to keep it tokolosi.
Yes, bro. Closing the mirror when there's a lightning storm outside.
It's always say, if you spill milk, ooh, wie's pregnant?
Wie's pregnant, yeah.
And somehow somebody's always pregnant.
Look here, okay, that is weird, no? But then again,
it's the law of causality.
Put It By The Wall is the #1 podcast nowhere in the world.
When at least this is where they come to be inspired and motivated, my brother.
Okay, you're not lying.
Amen.
Welcome back to another episode of Put It By The Wall, the podcast where we talk about stuff.
Amen.
Stuff to get you inspired and make you feel like you can take over the world. Stuff to make you smile. And then just stuff in general. I'm your host, Kurt.
I'm Loren.
And today, we've got a weird topic.
Something very different from our normal.
This is weird. And also, what do you call it? Like relatable.
We've all heard the stories, yeah.
Old wives' tales. So we're going to be discussing it, maybe debunking it and those kind of things. A little bit of a back and forth. So it's about to get weird. This is a crazy picture though.
It is, huh? But now to encapsulate the entire, I don't know, weirdness of what do you call it? Because we have in South Africa, but specifically in the colored community, there is a lot of, how do you say?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of superstitions and whatnots. Most notably, everybody knows now, tokolosi.
Tokolosi is hype. Okay, old wives' tales, before we get into it now. Old wives' tales are basically little stories that our grandmothers used to tell us or our forefathers used to tell us, which get carried down through the lineage from generation to generation. And that shit will get you in line quick fast.
It almost always changes as it goes along. It gets more extreme.
Almost like broken telephone, and kind of what people do is they make up their own little...
Fill in, my guy.
It's like they attune it to their...
My guy. When we were doing the research, I was telling you, I had a flood of like old memories coming back because, number one, my Oma's bed always used to be on bricks.
Yes.
I didn't know why. I just thought that everybody's in the house, the bed is on bricks. But that's what it is.
Yes.
And then now I didn't put your bed on the bricks to keep it tokolosi.
Yes, bro. I remember you talk about that. I was younger, no? I used to go into the old people's houses. I sound like someone that used to break into old people's houses. Like in my auntie or my mom's aunts and uncles and my grandmas and stuff. Then you always like, why is this bed so high? Like, Jesus Christ.
For no reason, my guy. For no reason. Okay. No, it's not for no reason, no? Fair enough. What's the other thing? My Oma always used to say also, don't look in the mirror too long. Your face is gonna get disfigured. I don't know what that is.
That shit is weird.
There used to be one also, don't walk bare feet after dark.
Because?
Or they're gonna come chop your feet off somebody's, whoever. I don't know. I think that was just we're just trying trickies. But
talk about that.
To this day, I don't walk bare feet at night outside.
That is exactly what I'm talking about. Like all that stuff, no? All those little things that they say to us and whatever, not all like, it formed us into the people that we are today. And then you wonder like why you don't do certain stuff or why you don't like certain stuff. It's because of all the things that they used to tell us back in the day.
All that stuff, man.
But talking about the mirror one, no? You were talking about something about the mirror now. Me and my wife spoke about it earlier because we were running through the notes and stuff. And it's closing the mirror when there's a lightning storm outside. Haven't you heard that one yet?
I haven't.
Something about the lightning striking into the mirror.
Sorry.
But my grandmother used to do it. The household, everybody used to cover. When I stayed by my granny, By my
I don't
mother.
think no.
Then they close the curtains and they close all the mirrors and stuff. Haven't they done that? When there's lighting outside?
If I'm being honest,
That's weird.
I've never seen, never. It's the first time I'm hearing of it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, I assume they're scared the lightning is gonna strike into the.
But the odds of that is like 1 in a trillion.
I can't because
Straight through the
into your
roof,
house.
into the, and they know exactly where the mirror is.
I think it's like coming through the. I think this is what they mean. It's gonna come through the window. My guy. Some of this don't make sense.
I'm sorry. Also,
Some of this don't make sense. Well, a lot of it does.
for a lot of years, I don't know why I believed it, but that you mustn't let your baby before they 1 years old. You mustn't let them look in the mirror or something like that. That's
Isn't it to cut hair?
No, the cut hair is also 1 year. So you mustn't cut their hair before they're 1 years old. But also you mustn't allow a baby to look in the mirror because it can capture their soul or steal or add bad luck or give them bad luck for the rest of their life or something like that. I can promise you, I've seen people who babies don't look in the mirror. They don't let their babies look in the mirror.
On that, the bad luck. I'm sure you heard about the break a mirror. I broke a few mirrors in my life already, so
look.
Maybe that's how I went through all that.
I was just about to say now, just before I got married, I broke a mirror.
What do you mean, like the day of the?
Nah, the week of. The week of. It was still yeah, though. The week of, I broke it. The mirror broke when it fell.
So what do you guys think?
And
ended.
I was married for 7 years. So they do say you break a mirror 7 years of bad luck. I'm just saying. It's a very big coincidence. But there is some stuff like.
Look here, man. I
still don't walk under a ladder also.
Okay, that's. You talk about that under the ladder. Sometimes I think to myself, like, where this old wives' tales and stuff is concerned, I'm like, let me just play it on the safe side, man, and just not do it rather.
That's my.
I don't want to like tempt fate.
I'm not. I won't say I'm not fearful. I'm not scared, and I'm not.
Let me ask it to you this way: are you superstitious, like in general?
Kind of am to an extent, yeah. I'm pretty balanced. I won't say I'm not for the murder thing. I don't know. It doesn't work, but there is some like pardon the language, but I don't fuck with no ghosts, my guy. If somebody tell me, hey, that's haunted, or yeah, the spookery took me there, and what? Oh, good. I'm gonna go.
We don't have time for this.
I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna tell you now that I won't say I'm not scared. If I'm saying I'm not scared, that I'm lying.
Yeah.
But I move towards the danger type of thing. Like I want to see this happen now. Let's go, boy. Let's go. Like shit is it in the fan. I want to see. I've heard the kettle switch on and those kind of things already. I go look, my brother. I go look. I want to see what is going on. I put the lights on. We're gonna see. We're gonna have a scrap.
I'm not about that life.
No, my bro. I
will go look. Yeah, I will go look and see.
But
look, there wasn't one evening. This was like a couple years ago. Me and Ryan, we were alone here. Everybody else is out. We watched. Well, mind you, we were sleeping in the living room. We watched Paranormal Activity 1. That's when it just came out.
Wasn't that here? And the door blew open. Was that it?
Yeah, I think. Well, yeah, it could have been because we watched I know me and Ryan watched Paranormal Activity the afternoon, broad daylight, sunlight everywhere. We watched it, and it was still because at that time now a hand camera, so it looked like
legit, yeah.
And the night we were watching anime and whatnot, and then it was that the wind, gusts of wind, and all the doors were open at the same time. The front door, the door, windows was rattling. I'm paranoid. Only because when I moved to Steenberg,
yes,
they buy that man's house. Yeah, they buy that man's house now. Chad, you remember Chad?
I said don't say names, and then he's like,
Che, I'm gonna
I'm
chat,
just
yeah.
saying.
Yeah. That man told me, Kagi, yes, in the house, he sees me now.
Shit, it a fan.
Yeah, he stays in the house, that he druk me a part time. Like, you know, when the smoke druk me,
Okay, to that one, yeah.
strong bones. Sleeping on the bed in the room where nobody told me this, where a family member killed himself in the room.
Easy.
I found this out after the fact.
Yo, it's heavy on the vibe, bruh.
I didn't know. I sleep in the room, look at this, sleep in my back. Now, won't hour, middle of the night. That man is next to me. We're sleeping in now double. That man is next to me. I said, what?
Therapy.
Con panic. It felt like an hour. Like 3 minutes, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
When I stood up there, my guy, immediately got dressed, got my car, went on. And it was like, it was like past 2 in the morning. Okay, mom, I don't mess with that, my guy. I don't mess with you. You drug me.
So on that topic, no, of the spoken drukje and that kind of thing, no, I went to actually go check that out. It's called sleep paralysis. So basically, what happens is, okay, you believe what you want to believe at the end of the day. So this is just a scientific explanation of what it is. It's called sleep paralysis. So you wake up, your brain is awake, but your body is awake, but your brain is awake, and your body is still asleep.
Okay.
You see, so it's like, so you are there, but you're not completely there. So you're in 2 sleep states at the same time.
Is a disconnect between
of what? And you people report hearing voices, hearing footsteps, and all sorts of weird stuff, because you kind of hear conscious and not conscious at the same time.
You.
So like reality is distorted at that moment. And it's caused by stress, by high stress at the time. It's caused by substances. It's caused by medication, and a bunch of other things. Yeah. Yeah. I've also had it quite a few times, but look, you know what? For me, it's like I said, you believe what you want to believe.
You believe what you want to believe.
So for me, at the end of the day, I'm just on the buzz of, I just pray.
But look,
what else can you do?
What else can you do? This nigga is invisible.
Except for accepting it.
Now, on that, now, we're not talking about superstitions. I've never once walked through a graveyard or so at night. Because
can you remember that one night that we went to Club Cemetery? I don't know what we were doing there. What were we doing there? Peter was also with, I think.
We were being stupid. Because we smoked.
And
it was somebody's idea.
Let's go to the cemetery.
Exactly, that's because of this.
And we didn't get far in. We just went in, and the caretaker was in.
Because of this old wives' tale, where if you walk in the cemetery, the ghosts are going to follow you. That's what my old used to tell me. And we wanted to debunk it, now.
Talk about that. Here's another one. The walking in backwards. Have you heard that one already?
I've done it a couple of times. I don't know why, but I've done it. If you walk through doorways, at certain doorways.
If you come in late. If you come in late.
We come in after a certain time. Yeah, now when we used to go Joel and whatnot, that's what I used to. Now come in and I must turn around. And doing that, remembering that drunk is that's another thing, yo. It's another trip, yo. Oh, yeah.
Especially when you smoke.
Now, I can understand that now. Because with me, you must not know, I think I still do it now, but I used to talk in my sleep. Heavily.
Oh, yeah.
Heavily. But I used to talk about the events of the day. But now, what happened? So that's why I can never lie to my mother.
Yo, that was the funniest. I can't remember exactly what you said that one day, and me and Ryan heard you. We were crying over the loss.
Yeah, because I was basically narrating everything that's going for the whole. So now, I don't know what I watched. I watched some kind of horror. I was like next to my She was angry. I was laying next to her, and she just what the heard was. I started just talking, just mumbling. She was mumbling, and then I just
started screaming.
Because the movie we watched was I don't know if you saw this yet. It's called the Poughkeepsie Tapes. It's about a haunting in America, obviously, but it's about It's almost like an Amityville vibe.
Okay.
But they have it all on.
It's all hand
camera. All hand in the house.
I'm interested in that. Give it to me.
It's crazy, but it's like all but it's crazy. Now we watch that and my overactive imagination
was crazy.
The ghost was chasing me, and the people in my family was possessed. Now I was going to town on that shit, man.
I have dreams sometimes, no? And this kind of ties into the whole superstition buzz also, no? I have a lot of dreams where I'm flying and I have like supernatural abilities and stuff. I don't know. People, there's people that not debunk dreams. What do you call this? That interpret dreams and stuff. But then again, certain things people interpret in like one thing will be interpreted by 3 different people, 3 different ways or whatever.
It's about perception.
It's all about perception. But I dream about I can do supernatural stuff in my dreams, and especially flying. The flying for me in the dream.
But I think for me personally, I think that stems from your creativity. Your mind is not how do I say, your reality is not up to par with where your mind is. You know what I mean? So where you can maximize yourself, if that's the right way to say it, where you can make yourself
ability to level up or to
level up, for where everybody else can see it. You know what I mean? Because now at the moment, we're the only ones that's seeing what we capable of and what we can do. So when you dream about I can fly or I can run fast or I have teleportation powers, that is you wanting to show mense, this is my, I don't know what happened.
Guys, this is like a weekly thing already.
Yeah. What? Yeah, but it is just my interpretation of it, where you know I don't say destined, but you know you have bigger.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
But bigger things for you to do.
I've dreamed about weirder things in that. I've dreamed that I've got shot in my dreams and those kind of things, that I'm about to die. And
I was never shot. I dreamed I died a few times. Yeah, stabbed, cut, whatnot. Died on operating. Dying on operating table was like a prevalent. In my younger years, was very prevalent because of all the surgeries and whatnot. So there was a stage where I was scared to go.
I just wanted to ask you about that. Look, this is the thing with our friendship and Noreen. It's like, this thing is here, no? With your kidney and whatever. Like for me, I don't want to tell you shame. Like say, shame. Nah, brother.
My guy.
Nah.
Don't work like that, man.
You need to be, take it. Look here, this is not just the cards that you were dealt. Look, I have asthma. No? People told me, doctors and people, a lot of people like, when people say, shame. No, man, don't shame me.
That was my life for the whole teen years. Oh, and even when the kidney failure started, that was it's infuriating. And that's one of the reasons why I didn't do sports. Of course, the doctor he was all good because I was played cricket at the time, cricket and rugby.
Yes.
I was but no my time. That's no ways. What if this?
Of course, yeah.
What if this?
So they kind of put you in like a little glass box.
Put you in the box, and it was. It is quite horrible. If I'm being honest. If mense.
Oh yeah, the
pity. Why? For what? This is we all go through shit.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. We all go through shit. We address it, move on, and then we go on about our lives. Klar. It's not so low.
Don't whistle in the house.
I've literally don't that's somewhere at the bottom, yeah.
My uncle.
You're gonna summon spirits.
My uncle used to lose his shit, bro. My uncle used to go crazy. If you whistle in the house. Oh, a man used to lose his thing, and he's still like that, my bro.
Superstitions, my guy.
He's still like that.
It's must not part of the score. There's also here's one that says never sweep at night or you're gonna sweep your luck away. But you must only sweep in the mornings.
I go BS.
You never know. What?
Look here, all of this. Luck. Get luck. Don't get luck. Look, you know what,
You
man?
make your own luck.
But my reality is this, man. Oh, this is my mind. Like, you can kind of just make the best of a situation. So things are gonna happen in any case. You don't have
Yeah.
control over the
You
circumstance.
can only control yourself.
Your attitude and how you're gonna
Perceive it,
bounce
yeah.
back, how you're gonna perceive it. So no. I maneuver. Like I said, it is ingrained in me. So there's certain things that I'm like, let me not tempt fate. But still, like,
one of the more prevalent things that I'm seeing one year now. If you dream of fish and someone is pregnant, that is the a Caribbean superstition. Huh? But I remember growing up that men always say if you spill milk, ooh, fish pregnant.
fish pregnant, yeah.
And somehow somebody's always pregnant.
Look here, okay, that is weird, no? But then again,
it's the law of causality.
Somebody is always pregnant.
Exactly. They're just playing the numbers. You must know somebody in your whole circle.
Somebody's always pregnant and somebody's always dying. So milk is spilling.
My guy,
all over the show. This is a weird one. So I came to my cousin the other day, and they just had a baby. Baby's about a few days old. And I came in and I greeted him and I went and I saw the baby laying on the bench. I was like, yeah, I was now go see the baby. And then the baby had like a little piece of newspaper on the forehead. And I was like, what is this? And they were like, nah, the baby's got hiccups. So they put like a little piece of newspaper on the forehead. Look here.
What? Maybe a distraction? Maybe the focus here, the baby only focus here.
The baby's like a few days old. What does he know about focus? You only focus on tits. Nah, but you see, that's the thing. That's weird. Like, everybody have their own.
Yeah.
We can say that is weird, no? And then we maybe mention one of our superstitions. And they'll be like, no.
That's what, yeah.
How does that make sense?
So now, I think one that everybody can agree is weird, yeah. Boiling eggshells can kill your child's brain.
That's BS.
Boiling eggshells in your house, if there's a baby in the house, believe in some communities, boiling eggshells is believed to cause brain damage in babies. No.
I call BS.
I agree with you, but correlated, how does that even make sense?
Like make it make sense. Like, how does that even, how do we get there to think something like that?
So while your baby's in the house, you can't have any boiled eggs at all.
I call BS.
That makes no sense. And here's it, whistling at night, attracts evil spirits. Whistling in the house, the same thing. Oh,
that's weird. God. When you're pregnant, you must have heard this already. That when someone, say the woman is pregnant and someone irritates them, they're angry at this person out and they say your baby's gonna look like that person.
I've heard it many a times, my guy. Many a times. Look,
I call BS.
Yeah, it has to be, man. How does
it like scientifically correlate to anything?
But then again, there's some stuff that science can't explain.
Okay.
There's some stuff like this has nothing to do with the topic at hand, but every person of the 8 point whatever billion people is in the world, we each have a doppelganger. And I've seen some of these people live on opposite sides of the world.
And they just look the same.
They look exactly. When I say
but
exactly.
Look here, again, that is playing the odds. That is just numbers. Like, there is everybody is unique, no? Everybody's unique, no? But somewhere along the world, somewhere it's gonna, like, certain facial features, and the parents maybe look a little bit the same. And
to me, it's super weird, my guy.
But it's super weird.
Incredibly weird that people look like people they've never met. It is weird as fuck. Sorry. Yeah. And yes, that's one also, don't cut your baby's hair before his first birthday. Or they'll have bad luck forever. I get it. But also don't. I said, how? How is that?
Have you heard this one? Okay, let me say this one rather. Men that wear white shoes are cheaters. Have you heard that already? Like, if you wear white shoes and they say you're a jeweler. You haven't heard that one yet?
It's really old school though.
No, it's old school. All the shit is old school.
But I can't think of it though. Look, okay, maybe because I don't never wear white shoes, so I wouldn't know. Nobody ever told me, yeah, you could ride it, what's good. No,
But are you a cheater though?
no, no. I'm 100% on that. Even though I will say this, opportunities was there so many times, and my dumbass. I'm a one moment man. I'm faithful. Meanwhile, seems like I was the only one.
But on that topic, no, don't allow people to change you, man.
Okay,
Don't make people. That's how you give your control away. Don't give people that control. You know what? No, sometimes and gaslighting. Sometimes people on purpose. Sometimes people purposefully make you upset to bend you to their wall to make you do certain things. The only people trick you out of your position. There's a saying I like to use is be the pole in the ground, not the flag in the wind.
Don't just go any which way, yeah.
No, my brother.
Oh, you're 100% right. And I'm glad that wasn't I wouldn't say I wasn't a whore, so to say. But look, I did get around before. And there was little, not during the map, but during the courting phase, I had a dalliance. But that was it. That was
See, you can admit it now.
Yeah, it was like 12 years ago, my guy. 12, 13 years ago. That was before the whole no more even started.
Shebang.
Yeah. And then didn't I make a mistake? But that's a different story because there is a whole backstory behind it. I should have
out the time.
Okay. Well, the way I should have gone right. And I went left.
Okay.
That's all. But that's for another episode, yeah.
Yeah.
That's for another episode.
If your ears are burning, someone talking about you. Have you heard that one already?
Yes.
I've heard that quite a few times.
Yeah. I've what's the other one? My mother's mommy said the other day, I was twitching, say, ooh, wie praat so van, man? That makes no sense.
Isn't it with the eye twitching you're gonna see someone or something?
Oh, yes, yeah. Wie kom for my visit?
And then also on the wie kom for my visit, the dropping a knife. If you drop a knife, a man's gonna come visit you. If you drop a fork,
lady. You drop a spoon, baby.
I go base. If you drop a small spoon. It's a small child.
Some of the shit is actually ridiculous.
Look, and here's one more before we go.
Yeah.
Being in the pool, triggers that chemical that changes the color of the pool.
Not everywhere.
Nowhere, bruh. There's no such thing exists. I went to go search this morning. There's no such chemical exist.
No, I
haven't seen it. No, you have. On a movie, yeah.
No, in real life, I've seen it.
Where?
What's this resort we went to? I don't know where we went to, but with my mochi, I promise you, covering.
And it was colors.
Okay, it just gets darker. If there's, I think it's because your urine is now acidic, so it react to the acid that's in your urine, and what do you call it? Whatever.
Look here. We're gonna fact check that, no?
We're gonna fact check that.
This man is again talking his own body.
I think literally saying, no? I'm not sucking it out of my thumb, no, but I have seen it a couple of times. If I'm not mistaken, in real life, I've seen the color change, and most of those times I was with the person who did it. It's not the best place to be, because covering inside. What must come out, must come out. It must come out now.
Do whatever.
Just do whatever, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Thank you very much for tuning into this episode of Put It By The Wall, where we discussed and debunked all lifestyles.
Yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough. We did, yeah. It was. But this is still very weird to me.
And it will never stop. And even though we think certain things are weird, that's the beauty of a life.
Fair enough, no? Perspective.
Yeah.
If you have any of your superstitions or your folklore or old lifestyles, put it in the comments. We can do a revamp show for us with new stuff at a later stage.
You know what would have been cool if we had a guest here?
Psychic. And a psychic on you.
That'll be a trip.
If you are psychic and you're watching this,
stick it to your bang down.
Don't call telepathy. put it implanted in my mind that I can call you. Oh, then I'll believe in you. Okay.
That make no sense, but so much sense at the same time. Like, comment, subscribe, and all the beautiful things. That's the best way you can show your support.
Amen.
Thank you very much for tuning in. Don't forget that strength is good.
Inspiration is contagious, guys. Amen.
Shaba.